basically, as the other guys from India, from the coast of India, they might have stagnated a bit their evolution, and so they just stay there, and they're like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to have any of the those electronic things that the other guys have. We're not going to have any wires going around. We're going to do and produce everything we need. So they also, and this is maybe me speculating because I don't really know, what also might end up happening is a subsistence economic system. So basically, they produce everything that they need and not a single thing more. And if they do produce a single thing more, they try to share it with their neighbors, or they try to sell it with their neighbors, and they basically make a, what we call in anthropology, in economic anthropology, a circular economic system, in which you basically trade something with someone else, that someone will trade something with someone else instead of trading it back with you. Um, and that third person, that third party, will either trade with someone else or trade with you. But there is also like the cycle always ends. So basically, there's one person that receives ends up giving back, but to someone else,
So they
to
don't
someone
use
else, not
money.
to
So
the,
they don't use
yeah, they
money
don't
technically.
necessarily
Mhm.
use money. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like an I owe you one, basically. Yeah, or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Hmm.
And some societies in the 20s and 30s, found by Malinowski, which is a big, big influence in anthropology. Very, very big anthropologist, actually. He found out that that's exactly how some people worked and some societies worked. So-called traditional societies.
In 20s and
Uh,
the 30s? What do you
yeah,
mean?
20s and 30s.
Where?
Societies off the
Where?
coast of America,
Uh-huh.
on the Central Americas as well, in more secluded places that people don't usually have that much access. Um, I think this one, it wasn't on American Samoa. No, American Samoa was in the 70s and 60s, if I'm not mistaken, but it wasn't Malinowski.
I think the Middle East as well.
I'm,
Middle East.
I'm
Oh, forgot about the
Yeah.
Bedouins, right? People living in tents and like surviving for like
mhm, yeah,
No, in the 20s
independently.
and 30s,
Hmm.
people did have houses, right? But at
mhm,
the time, Arabia was still not borderized and colonized by the
yeah,
Brits per se. So the whole border system was still not in the
In the
monetary
20s?
system was not in. Yeah,
In
in
the
the
20,
20s.
that was less than 100 years ago.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
wasn't like, whoa,
There,
yeah.
there, there, there's,
Kuwait was
there,
established in the 40s or in the 50s.
yeah.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Yes, I
there,
thought
there, there
countries were
has
just there. Hmm.
there has been this whole process of which we call in, I'm sorry if I might be like literally translating this, but secularization, that has been, well, taking place in this whole century, this whole past century, the 20th
Mm.
century, in which borders have been basically been drawn, mostly, for most countries. Some countries prior, some countries are basically, they have their new borders. For example, we now have someone who's trying to break that pattern. You have the one, to go too much into politics yet again, I'm sorry. um, uh, the Israel prime minister or president, I get confused at times what his position is. He also wants to annex some populations, a bit like Putin tried to do with Russia, but that doesn't really matter over here. What matters is that societies themselves, they've been, as I said before, they have different uh, evolutionary levels, but technically, and they have a tendency to uh, carry on their progression in an equal state. So basically, let's see that it's like if you look at a graphic, it's basically a straight line. It doesn't go up. It just goes straight, but either up or down.
What
Usually
is
it's
it?
up.
What is it?
The evolutionary state of societies overall. They always
Hmm.
stay the same, but they tend to improve. Let's say, I don't want to say improve, because every single society is in their own way the correct way, because it's basically an adaptive situation.
Hmm.
um, a
When you
bit
say
like regimes and all that. You have regimes that are more suited to certain places and countries due to their economics and their demographics and all that, and in other countries might be a bit different.